episode of MoFIT Talks episode 12, and today I'm going to share with you about being consistent. Okay, so this episode basically is like a additional episode of the previous two-part episodes that I've shared. The first one is about how to find motivation in the gym, which I'll put the link at the description below, and also the second one is your fitness goal expectation versus reality. So this is a little bit like a more a more detailed or even a better understanding for you so that you can get to your goal a little bit closer, right? So let's get into it. So whether it's your goal to lose fats or to gain muscle, understand that you need to be consistent. Good things don't come in 1 second, 1 month. Good things takes time. So you need to understand you have to be consistent, and consistency is key. Notice I said consistent, not perfect. There's two different elements. Perfect means in the ideal world, you do week 1 to week 12, you finish this, boom, that's it. You're like a robot. Your family don't care. You live in a cell, and you have no friends. Then okay, that's all cool. In the ideal world, everything is controlled, good. But we are all humans, and we have wife, we have kids, we have work, right? We have commitments, and so on and so forth. So, but with that being said, it shouldn't stop you from reaching to your goal. That's why I put the word, you need to be consistent. Sometimes you go to the gym, you see, oh, someone has very good physique, right? Oh, the body is so fantastic here and there. I wish it'd be real cool if I can have been like this. I've been to those scenarios before. I look at someone in the gym and like, wow, it'd be real great if I can. To date, I still do like, wow, it'd be real cool if I can do this. Whether it's to look good or to be strong, or lose a lot of fat, gain a lot of muscle. Those are still to date. I'll look up to it and say, you know what, it'd be real cool to have. But you have to understand, all these successful people have something in common. They do it very consistent. Alright, it's not all in or all out, nothing, or it's not perfection, but they are very sure of what they are doing and try to do it, repeat the same good habits over and over again. That's what you receive how you receive your results, if you will. Oh, Michelle, I want it fast. I want to do it in 1 week. I want to do it 4 weeks. I want to do it 12 months. 6 months can lose this belly fat. 1 year can lose that. I'm gonna rant a little bit here, but motherfucker, you think you're not only one person in the whole 7 billion population wants to lose fat in the quickest way ever? Do you think you're the whole right way, you're the only one? In fact, I would sure love to have the fastest way, but you need to understand something. If it's that easy, number one, everyone doing it. Number two, I will very fast run out of job, right? Because I just teach people 1-2 weeks, voila, everything is done, right? You need to be realistic, I'm not saying that having a dream is wrong, but you need to be realistic. You need to make small goals first. Then that is how you can reach your goal. Understand that you are not the only one in the whole wide world, the first person who think this, The key is to be, like I said, consistent. You need to understand that in reality, all this thing, right, it's not just, 2-3 weeks makes the cut, that's it. What are you going to do after the 4 weeks? What are you going to do after the 6 weeks? What are you going to do after the 12 weeks? You need to ask yourself. If you have failed to plan after all those periods, then I got bad news for you. If you fail to sustain what you're about to do for the following 12 or 6 months, you will regain back whatever that you have the problem on your first place. Don't hate me. It's a fact. Okay? The fact that I am why I'm here today because I have managed to sort of have a good pattern, good habit, doing it over and over and over again. With that being said, notice I said I'm consistent. I am not perfect. So what you can do for a beginning is to make small starts and make some slow adjustment. Please don't tell me things like, oh, I cannot one lah, it doesn't work for me. Those, you can make a change or you can make an excuse, okay? So I'm going to give examples on here on how you can go make small little change, but make some little bit of change, but in exchange, you can have some small results along the way. Understand that having a fitness goal is not a sprint, it's a marathon. What happens if you sprint on your first 1 kilometer of your marathon? Well, you're going to get zest out and you cannot finish the race, right? So you have to understand, it's a marathon, and the key, if you can sort of sustain the progress, and if not better, you enjoy the process, then I can assure you, you're going to be very, very naturally consistent, and you'll be very good at it. So when it comes to, back to just our topic, when you want to be consistent, there are 4 main major aspects that you need to know. I think I've covered in a previous video, but I'm going to share with you here right now. You have to understand the training, the nutrition, your recovery / stress, and last but not least, the mindset. I'm going to talk about the mindset first, okay? Because mindset, I think, is what makes or break the thing. Always remember to have some flexibility within your boundaries, okay? Meaning is that, let's say if you have, let's say if you're very, very consistent, but there's a holiday coming up, please don't lock yourself by saying, oh, I am going to, go there and still going to track my food. I'm going to, continue. I'm not going to, don't care what's happening around when you're going for holiday. Now, number one, that's a wrong approach. That's a wrong mindset to go start with. Vice versa. If you have this mentality, again, it's a very sickening mentality, is that when you go out, and go for a holiday, as an example, and then you say, oh, you know what, I'm going to holiday, so eat everything. I can stuff as much food as I want in the mouth. If you also have that kind of mentality, you are also on the wrong track. In fact, that's a very sickening track. Why I'm saying this is like, I ask you a question. When you go and sit for a test, right, you didn't get 100 marks, but you get 80 marks. Is that still a good thing? For me, it looks good because you're still very consistent. You get 80, you get majority of them correct, right? Do you say, because you don't get 100 marks and you say, oh, you get 99, you say, you know what, this is, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect. They go, forget it, I'm not going to do it. Diet or anything, or your food, your training is like that. You have to be consistent. If you're getting 70 to 80% of what you should do, you're on the right track. So the mindset is very important. Most people fail the mindset. They always think like you need to very, very disciplined, very, very motivated, and so on. Make it the habit. I think I've repeated this on previous video, but hopefully you get the idea. When you are trying to have a good, habit, there is a key actually to being consistent. When you brush teeth since you're born until now, do you have a lot of disciplines? Probably not. Why? You make it a habit. Okay? So now that we have talked about the mindset, hopefully this gives you an idea, like you need to know that having some flexibility, plus and minus, but still get your job done. Okay? Now I'm going to talk about putting some step by step or some things that you can consider into your fitness goal. Number one, let's start with the training. I cannot express how many times people who are very, very hardcore the first month, every day for the first month, legitly 1 week they can come around 5 to 6 times a week and they train all the way out until they puke, until they sore, until they don't feel good. Second month, they will come 1 week maybe 3 to 4 times, okay, which is not too bad. In fact, it's very consistent. Then they keep doing, right? And then on the third month, maybe 1 week you only see them 2 or 3 times. Then on the fourth month, you only see them once or twice in a month. So you see, this is not consistent. That's why the goal is to be consistent. So instead of going all ham out on the initial training, why don't you break it out a little bit? Go little bit, go little bit, go little bit, go little bit. Little bit goes all the way. As long as, for example, instead of going 5-6 days, which is very, very tiring for you, why don't you try maybe 3-4 times a week, or even 2 to 4 times a week? Start from there, right? 2 to 4, 2 to 4, 2 to 4. Make it a habit. You go there for a month. Going for a year, sorry. Wouldn't that be better than someone who, the example I gave you, who just burn out on the fourth month, right? So the second one I'm going to share with you is nutrition, right? This one I cannot express every single time. Yeah. How many people, I want to eat clean, I want to follow keto, I'm going to follow vegetarian, I'm going to paleo, I'm going to track all my food. On the first month, very good, no problem, lost a lot of weight, very happy, highly motivated, and then keep going. Second month, not too bad, somehow they have a cheat meal, which I'm not a huge fan of cheat meal, which I'll cover hopefully in future episodes, alright? So after that, they have the cheat meal, and then they will, they eat all the food they have. Then they realize, oh, they're not on the right track. Then they feel sorry for themselves. Then they stop that so-called whatever the first month gung-ho diet, insert your name there. After that, then you will go back, not only they lose their diet, in fact, they went back to those habits worse than what they are today. They went back to, their old habits, or even worse habit than what they are previously. So these are some things you want to avoid, okay? So if you're tired of stucking in this cycle, or you know someone, or even you experienced this cycle before, it's time to make a change. Nutrition don't have to be, it's not easy, I'll admit, but it doesn't have to be very complicated. Let me just give you some examples, okay? Let's say you went out for a drink. Instead of having a Coca-Cola or a soft drink, go for the one with 0 options. You are saving calories, right? Example, instead of having ice cream, you have a yogurt. There you go, a little bit of change here and there, right? And then make sure every meal you have a bit of protein. For example, okay, meat, chicken, fish. If you're vegetarian, maybe tofu, beans, or these are protein powders if you take, So you see where this is going? Instead of having a fried chicken, you have maybe a stir-fried chicken. Is making better options like this time to time. A little bit goes all the way. So a lot of people, when they say, when they want to jump to diet, they will straight away, I want to eat clean. So instead of having a example, last time they used to eat fried chicken, what they have, they straight away have plain chicken, and they eat miserably, munching on those cold chicken breasts. So make smarter options. Go for low fat. If you're having a lot of rice, maybe cut down a little bit. Still have your rice, but maybe cut down the portion. A lot of people say, cut down this food, cut down that food. Yeah, you are actually cutting down calories. That's why it works for you, stupid. Alright? So when you say, this food is bad, this food is good, understand there's no such thing. But there's always smarter choices. For example, instead of having a white bread, maybe having a wholemeal bread would be better. Why? Because the calories is lesser. Instead of having a croissant, maybe you have, maybe a toast. That would be better, so to speak. Why? It has lesser calories compared to a croissant, right? So these are just little bit example changes goes all the way. So please don't say cut down a particular food because it's bad. Foods don't have emotion. The last time I checked, humans have emotion. Humans can be good or bad, but foods are not good or bad. If it's bad, number one, government will ban the food. Number two, all food should be banned, right? Because everything overeat, calories, we gain a lot of weight. Just saying. Talk about the nutrition aspect. I'm going to talk about the recovery aspect. Okay, so you need to understand that recovery. A lot of people think, what's the best supplement powder that that it works for me, or what are the fantastic juice that work for me? Well, all those things has experience, but if you don't master the basics, for example, do you get enough sleep? If you don't get more than 6 to 8 hours of sleep, or whatever sleep that's good enough for you to wake up without feeling tired, you're already on the not so good place to start. So master your sleep, and then your stress. If you're very stressed, for example, yes, work, you have deadlines, you have very stressful, but you can keep yourself calm down a little bit. Maybe you can go for yoga classes, or maybe if you have a lot of someone nagging at you, or you have very negative people around you, maybe you want to stay away from there. Those kind of things can sort of really help you out a little bit. A little bit goes all the way. So stress recovery, and I can show you based on not just me, on my clients, if you're very stressed on the day, boss yell at us, or there's a deadline to rush, usually the performance will go down the drain a little bit. Okay, so since we're already in the gym, we're going to make the best result out of it. So make the best out of it. Okay, so stress handling, that's how you go. Get enough sleep and work a little bit less stress environment if you can. Alright. Okay. And training, if you want to, whatever training, whether you like to run on a treadmill, or like do a lot of exercises, or you like to do a lot of weight training exercises, any exercise I think is okay. Just make sure you are consistent. Don't first whole week hit all the way hard, and then after that you feel so pain, you feel so sore, and then after that you don't you don't want to train because you have lost the discipline, which actually because you lost the desire to go work. So the key final point here is just to be consistent. Don't search for quick results, but if you enjoy the process, then you can enjoy the success. If you fail to enjoy the process, you fail to enjoy the success. Don't hate me, the world works like that, because I have hit a lot of walls before. I used to eat clean, I lost a lot of friends along the way, and then when I and also all the training that I do, I make a lot of mistakes. Thankfully I don't have any serious injuries, but I did get a little bit injured here and there because of my previous forms, and I used to take all the supplement in the world only to find out, if I get enough sleep, I get my food right, that pretty much cover a little bit. I train consistently. So the key is to consistent. Don't 1 week tell yourself, alright, I'm going to make a commitment, I'm going to come like 2-3 weeks, or 2-3 times a week. Not say, I'm going to come 1-2 months, gung ho for the next week, and then don't work out for the next month, and then oh my god, parents' birthday. Learn to control your environment. If you fail to control your environment, I tell you, nothing works. Need to be consistent. Please don't tell me I can't help it, or I couldn't do this. These are just, I always said just like in the previous video, if you can make an excuse, why not make a change too, So depending which one you have. By the end of the day, keep the one, whatever works for you, whatever diet works for you. I'm not saying all this diet don't work. Whatever diet works for you, whatever training protocol works for you, whatever stress recovery fits you best, stick to it, be consistent, being 8 out of 10 accurate is not too bad. Being 7 out of 10 is also not too bad. Stick to your game, have a goal, and then that's how you can achieve your goal. So if you have any question, feel free to share with me. And that's all from me today. I'll catch you next time on the episode of MoFIT Talks.